Shubhodaya, a very warm, heartfelt welcome to our distinguished resource person, Sri Ramkrishna Mallela, and our distinguished participants. Now we are into the day 4 of session 1. I request my colleague Dr. Shubhangi Patil, Professor and Head Department of Computer Science Engineering, to give a brief introduction about our distinguished speaker, Mr. Ramkrishna Mallela. Over to Shubhangi, madam.
Hello.
Good morning to all. It's my pleasure to introduce today's resource person, Sri Ramkrishna Mallela. So his professional experience, qualification and competencies. Ramkrishna Mallela is a HR management professional with 20 years of career experience in various roles of consulting, transformation, change, organization development and business management. Sir is having a multinational, multicultural, global, regional and local leadership experience in the field of HR and HRIT in US, UK, Europe, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, Middle East, Japan and India. Sir had his business management education from IIM Kolkata, business leadership training at IIMB, SAP Human Capital Management Professional and Six Sigma Black Belt Professionals. He is a professional faculty and trainer, coach and mentor in leadership and management skills, customer success, business transformation and change management, HR training strategies, talent development, performance management and organization development. He has designed the curriculum, pedagogy design, training need analysis and training and leadership frameworks. He is a faculty and trainer with TISS SVE, Heartfulness Education Trust and Heartfulness Institute. Sir is a trainer and speaker in the field of science and spirituality, life skills, values, education and brain development training. His passion and hobbies and self-development in HFN meditation and spirituality ideas, innovation, design thinking, economics, technology and science. Sir is having the interest in chess and adventure sports, travel theatre, movie production, blogger and evaluation. Sir is having the huge experience with well-known software industries. His career summary so far is he has worked with the Dell, ADP, Cognizant, Novartis, Computer Associate. Sir is having the professional certification and expertise in the Microsoft, HP, SAP, Kaizen and ISO. Thank you, sir, for being with us and accepting our invitation as a resource person for this ATAL program. Thank you, sir. Over to Professor Shambulingappa, sir.
Sir, now I request Ramkrishna Mallela sir to take over the session. Sir, please unmute your audio. Over to you, sir.
Namaskara.
Namaskar.
Thank you, ma'am, for reading a very lengthy biodata. Every letter of that document goes to my mother. You know, in Indian tradition, often we inherit the name of the father and the mother's name is hardly remembered. I would prefer that every time my biodata is read, I feel humbled that she has done so much to put me here. Distinguished faculty members of various colleges here, and most importantly, to the wonderful leadership of VTU, especially led by Dr. B. Shambulingappa Garu and his team in collaboration with ATAL, this faculty development program for mental well-being in a mindful way. You have heard various speakers, and often speaking is a very easy function. It doesn't take much effort. With moderate intellect, one can actually speak for hours together. I would like to put the topic today for our consideration. I'm just sharing my entire screen because that way I'm more comfortable with opening up various windows. I'm going to put it in the chat box here, a particular website. If you are all logging on a portal, if you are on a computer, I put together this site, or you have to download an app called Mentimeter app. I request all my friends here, all the distinguished faculties, to kindly open up your browser called Menti, www.menti.com. If you are very good, excellent, then there's no problem at all. Thank you, Shambulingappa sir. So my presentation would be primarily to take you through some perspectives on the topic today, which was given to me on aspiration and inner growth, inner connection. Is my slide visible to all of you? Because I can't see my chat box. It will be good if you can, somebody can confirm it to me. Sir, is my slide visible to all of you? Okay, I have to read chat comment again because I not used to Google Meet. Yes, sir.
Visible, sir.
Visible. I've been using Google a lot, this Zoom a lot. So for me, I will take few minutes to get there, but I'll get there. Now this topic, I would rather do it in an experiential way. I'm very sure that Namrata and Rikita have covered a lot. The whole idea is to bring back the heart into education. When the heart is into the education, whether it is from mother's womb till the cemetery, if this is in place, then living mentally, mindfully is very easy. So I've spent a lot of my time. I don't want to go through my profile, but I give a tribute and appreciation to my great mother, like the way your mother has brought you so far. As you attend this session, which I often request all the participants, kindly make notes of whatever you feel in your heart, not because you have to get a certificate, not because there will be an exam. As all of us are adults, we have to process our intellect with a little more refined consciousness, which you have seen yesterday after cleaning what happens, after meditating what happens. So very few people have the art and science of writing deep notes. They will not write what is told, they will write what is coming as an action item inside. Keep drinking water. If you're on the mobile phone, try and avoid it on charging. For today's learning outcomes, I put 4 points. I let you read for a few minutes. If we have to really have an aspiration and an inner connect, I thought that this particular elements must be touched upon. With that as the indicators for today's session, Heartfulness organization, which is a non-profit organization which is into teaching meditation for free. We will never charge for meditation. It is always going to be free of cost. It is based on a simple method where one draws their mind back to the heart, and using the help of yogic transmission, then the mind will remain inwards towards the heart. For such a person, aspirational direction comes from the heart. There is no separate inner connection. That person is perennially, permanently connected. If disconnected, then obviously we end up in stress. We may be hearing but not listening. We may be having an employment, but working is different from having an employment. So when the connection is established to the heart, this connection can remain ATAL. And there is permanent training from the heart and learning from the heart. This ATAL is not a person. This ATAL Renaman, something which is stable, firm, and that is the heart. This yogic transmission has always helped meditators. Many people run away from meditation. They don't even pay attention to it. But they're always meditating on something or the other. So in today's session, we will look at how prayerfully we can go inwards and connect with our heart. You have experienced relaxation meditation, but I want us to understand our design first. At the outlook of who we are, however we may appear, with whatever dress code we may come to a session, it is just not what we appear from outside to others. It's about who we are inside. Even at a science level, they could barely penetrate at the level of the brain, which has signals, that's it. But beyond these signals, if one has to have aspiration and inner connect, to go upwards is to actually go inwards. This is a paradox of this ATAL learning inside the heart. Otherwise, we are whole day busy with some average count of signals, triggering from a lot of thoughts and emotions. And when we have to teach to students, if we are oscillating between signals and thoughts and emotions, the efficiency of that engine is very just around the corner. But for those who aspire to go deep inside, as they say, to get pearls, you need to go deeper. Once you start exploring the feelings inside the heart, then mental well-being starts. Otherwise, still emotions are there. It is a concoction of anger, irritation. Irritability is one of the common factors which is simmeringly running inside the consciousness. And to some extent, a sleep cycle should have solved this problem. But for lack of awareness that what triggers my irritability is many judgmental factors inside. And as few members will deep dive towards the inner silence, the word silent comes from LISTEN. Somebody who can listen inwards can actually understand people outwards. And that too, when you pass and aspire to be in an inner state of reality. We will be hearing these words on our college boards, on the hoardings, in TVs, Tattvamasi, all these words, but where is this? It is inside the heart. So to me, when all the faculties inside are in a synchronicity, are in sync, then this particular faculty going to the college has all the wherewithal of all the faculties aligned inside. Such a consciousness has a huge circumference. The perimeter of that consciousness is vast. And that is what differentiates between a normal teacher to a very good teacher, a normal faculty professional to an excellent faculty. Now, for that, if I have to understand my inner design, then let us explore what are the faculties we have inside, first of all, to really nurture all the faculties and become a very good faculty in the college. It starts with the very appreciation that we have 3 levels of systems inside. And for those of you who have taught mechanical engineering, you understand what is a system. And this energy flow is again at 3 levels: physical, subtle, and causal. All of us know at the physical level, we are given 5 karmendriyas and 5 gnanendriyas, and 1 brain. Hopefully that gets utilized well. One of the deterioration that happens in the brain is over a period of time. Now these 10 indriyas are available as faculties. But ancient education has given methods, but they are not used in today's educational models as to how to refine these inner faculties before we start conducting our classes. These gnanendriyas and karmendriyas are all available, but these faculties needs to be refined. And look at the sub-faculties inside that are supporting the super faculties. At the very physical level, my dear friends, all that we claim for so much of our reputation that we carry, we are a combination of electrical, chemical, biological processes. This is what a human body is all about. Perhaps a little more systems like the skin system and endocrine system. So when these inner faculties are not tuned and trained, the subject of aspiration and inner growth remains as just an FDP topic annually. But this is what is the system our great mother has given us. And I want us to examine this mental system very carefully. I'm going to play a video for all of you to understand how we should take care of our system, how beautifully it has come into existence, and what is that we should do today. I'm hoping that the audio will come without any challenges. Let me know. So the very aspiration of the soul that comes out is not for just a physiological experience to just live a physical life, becoming busy with multiple things. But there was no audio. Shambhu sir, was there no audio? I couldn't hear you.
Sir, there was no audio. Anyhow, you finished it, right, sir? Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. So this video, in which case I will send you, it's very important to appreciate that it took 9 months for the mother to bring us here. She used all her faculties to give us all the abilities. So my question to all of you is here, what is it one thing you have learned from your mother? She is your first faculty and a permanent faculty. So would you like to share in the chat box here, what is it our great mother has taught us? What is her aspirational values that she has given us? You can put it in the chat box so that everybody can love. Thank you, Suresh Maneji. Thank you. And I think this is the aspiration that human community looks for. That's it. Just the one word. And thank you, Suresh. Love and affection. If this is the basis of teaching, if this is the basis of conversation, if this is the basis of life, then I think we need hardly any training. But as we become more and more away from this core function of love, we need a lot of external reinforcement to remember whatever we should do in our life. So thank you for everybody for responding to my question as to what are we learning from our mother. And she has given us this great system to develop this further. It is just not going to be for a physical fun. You know, it's important to remind ourselves, why did I get this wonderful system? What is it I'm going to do about it? So when I re-examine my system that I have, this physical system that I'm showing you today here is her hard work. But beyond this physical system, my dear friends, there is a subtler system where there is a mind, intellect, ego, and consciousness. This is called Sukshma Sarira. There are very few educators who can appeal to participants' mind, intellect, and ego and consciousness. पढ़ाई अलग है, विद्या अलग है. So विद्या अगर अंदर से निकालनी है, then the educator must have a raised consciousness. So this particular subtle body that is there behind every physical body for which our mother has labored 9 months needs development. These are our faculties inside, beyond the karmendriyas and jnanendriyas. These 4 faculties, when trained properly, such a faculty is healthy and wise as well. And they are living consciously. And so the whole system is designed, and that design needs to be tuned properly. Even every gadget that we purchase needs to be calibrated. In your labs, you calibrate a voltmeter, an amp meter. Calibration towards something inwards. So this life force inside is what is giving us the entire energy and well-being. When I start becoming cognizant of this life force, then there is a different level of consciousness in this person. So if you look at it as a science of the human body, we have all the koshas, all the faculties given to us. This is arranged for us in a beautiful way. For those of you who remember the physics experiment in the school life, that there are 3 cardboards, 3 slits, and light travels in straight line. You put a candle on one side and then showcase that. So heartfulness is all about getting alignment, congruence between these three bodies. And then all the faculties inside have 1 degree of an alignment. And for such a person, wherever they are walking, talking, presenting, sleeping, even eating, they have a different radiance altogether. Their well-being is looked after by the above one. Ananyas chintavanto mam ye janah paryupasate. The one who is absorbed in the inner divine consciousness is looked after by somebody else. So this alignment is the fundamental element that is required for a faculty of a college to first arrange their faculties inside. How did we do it historically? Ancient India, the physical system was developed through yoga, games, asanas. The mental capacity was developed through scholastic accomplishments. And the spiritual element of it was left to meditation, introspection, prayer, namaz, gurudwara, temple, church. And that's what these were the great faculties of those times. Society is divided in the name of these people, but they never fought with others. These faculties of those times, whether they spoke in Hebrew, Sanskrit, whatever language they spoke, they were trying to remind us that there is something inside you that you need to master. When you master that being inside, for that you have all the faculties available to your disposal. But in the word faculty, when we carefully study, when the word C is missing, it becomes faulty. So what is that C factor is one can choose what is their C factor. I put together some words here. Especially being centered, like the spin that Rikita ji showed you on day before yesterday. These are the qualities of the heart. So to me, every FDP, any organization coming can remind us that the C factor inside, which is available as a treasure in the heart, if it is put in place, then the faculties start responding. That's called true faculty development program. How do we leverage these faculties? Each one has a degree of consciousness. Right from in this world, stones and plants and animals have degree of consciousness, but human beings are gifted with something more higher, provided all the faculties are refined and purified and kept ready. So today, when we do prayer and meditation, our idea of doing this prayerful meditation is to let go ourselves for a few minutes, because whole day we are definitely talking about ourselves. But in today's prayerful meditation, we will be concerned of others in the universe. And that's when the faculties respond from inside. So when we have a normal consciousness, all that they are directed by the senses. But behind this consciousness, we have subconsciousness and superconsciousness. These are available for us to use it like an energy medium. But when there's a lot of entropy inside, they get into a lower order of consciousness. So in today's session, we are exploring how to pray and let go about ourselves for a few minutes, meditate for the welfare of humanity. David Hawkins has produced a scale of consciousness. It's a Western way of looking at things. I want you to study this figure that each one on a daily basis, based on the type of personality they bring in that consciousness. Even in today's call, each one of us are at different levels of consciousness. May I request all of you to kindly open up your Menti, because there's a small interactive question I have for all of you. May I request all of you to kindly open the Menti app for a participation in a question that I have for you. I'm going to post the question here. Is the Menti visible, doctor? Hello?
No, sir, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So I'm going to present a Menti for all of you to kindly please respond. Okay, here is a Menti questionnaire. Is it visible now? Okay. So the code I will put it in the chat box. I don't know how to do that. Just trying a little not comfortable with this particular tool. So is the Menti visible now still? Dr. Shambhu?
Sir, you're presenting to everyone. That's all. That's what it's showing.
No,
One
Menti is
minute.
not a hologram dispenser.
1 minute, sir. 1 minute. I myself have to highlight this, I think. Yes. Oops. I've been very poor at this particular tool. Now I have given you a questionnaire here. Now the code is 1015649. 1015649, and there is a level of consciousness everybody feels. Now I want you to genuinely reflect yourself and choose your type of consciousness that you're feeling today. You have 4 degrees of answers. The code is 1015649. You can choose as to what do you feel inside based on how your lifestyle is, and what do you feel inside. Kindly participate just to get your perspectives on this. There are 4 levels. Thank you for that honest answer. Somebody is able to recognize that blue color. It's a very honest answer from you. I mean, it will take a godly consciousness to really be above certain degrees, but I'm happy some of us are able to accept that there is a inner anger, sometimes some pride, some fear, some degree of pull down that happens on a daily basis, and that happens even to advanced seekers in meditation. So each one is feeling different degrees of consciousness. Now my next question is, I want you to quickly study the way the world is, currently the affair of the world is. What do you feel? Where is the current state of consciousness of the world? Whether it is Europe, whether it is China, whether it is Middle East, whether it is Pakistan, India, US, where do you see is the current state of consciousness as you observe newspaper, TV, though not everything that they speak is accurate? Very good, very good. You can pretty much see that we are able to appreciate that the world has a little challenging state. Now I have one more question to you. If this is what you feel your consciousness is better, and you feel that the world's consciousness is going through some strain, none of us can even touch to each other, none of us can even meet each other. Look at what happened in 8 months. All it needs is a reciprocating heart, and all of us are able to accept this. So this is called having an aspiration for the well-being of others. For that, one should have an inner connect, and I think consciously all of us accept this. I'm just stopping the sharing here, but you can continue to answer this. All I wanted to say is this particular consciousness is what makes a person different between 2 lecturers in a college. Now that's what David Hawkins has highlighted, that even in a society like ours, even if there is one person with 600 points, his calculation on a logarithmic scale, he says if one person is peaceful, person can positively affect 1 crore people. 10 million people can be affected who are below 200. Which means when peace has to be the nature of the inner faculties inside our human body, our mind, our heart, our ego, everything is in a very moderation. Such a person produces great effects in the classrooms, even in the university campus, even in the colony where they're residing. Which means the type of consciousness has been defined on the inner connection, and the aspiration is based on what type of a guna this person carries. People who are sattvic tend to ones who have a little more compassion for others. They are moved by others' problems. And this is the aspiration, what actually brings in a normal teacher to a great faculty. They are moved by the ignorance of the participants. They are moved by the very knowledge of the participants. They are moved in everything because their aspiration is always values, and these values comes from the heart. So to create that kind of an inner environment, one will generally tend to pray. Meditation is for regulation of mind. That is the only purpose of meditation. Cleaning is to remove the obstacles and the impressions that we are getting into every day, like Namrata explained yesterday, so that we can generate self-leadership. But prayer is a function of a great aspirational heart who looks at well-being of others. So today, my friends, we're going to do a small session of prayer and meditation. What I will do is I'm going to share a particular video for you to share, for you to understand how we do heartfulness prayer, so that you can appreciate and follow it if you wish to practice it for some more days and get into the depth of yourself. I'm just playing that video for you.
Prayer is offered just before going to sleep. Sit comfortably, gently close your eyes and relax. With the feeling of humility and love, mentally repeat the prayer slowly. O Master, Thou art the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of wishes, putting bar to our advancement. Thou art the only God in power to bring us up to that stage. O Master, Thou art the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of wishes, putting bar to our advancement. Thou art the only God in power to bring us up to that stage. Meditate for 10 to 15 minutes over its true sense. Try to lose yourself in it. Let the feeling behind the words come to you. Allow yourself to melt into this prayerful feeling. Retire to sleep right after the prayer. The prayer is also said silently once in the morning before meditation. This practice of beginning and ending the day with the prayer establishes a connection with the source throughout the day and night.
Now I want to repeat that word. But when there is a prayerful faculties inside, there is an inner connection with the source in the heart. Without this connection, when I come out of my home, whether it is to any place that I go, I will be high and dry. There is no depth in that person. It's only intellectual gaga all over. But this consciousness shifts when the person connects to the inner source and creates a higher degree of consciousness in their conduct or activities. With your interest that all of you have come, we will now do a practical meditation experience with a prayer. This prayer has nothing to do with anybody's personal beliefs. It will never interfere with anybody's personal beliefs. You may continue to pray in the way you pray to everybody, to anybody. But what we are going to here do is look at prayerful feelings in the heart. So we are addressing the inner perfect being that you already have, which is called the Master. And we will offer this prayer with profound humility and love and develop an inner connection to the heart and meditate with the help of yogic transmission. I request all of my teachers, faculties here to kindly sit straight in a very interested body language. Gently close your eyes. I'm going to give you guided commands for how to offer a prayer for the well-being of everybody in this universe. So I request all of you to kindly close your eyes. We will do this prayer for about 5 minutes and then meditate for about 15 minutes. Only by experience you will know what has shifted in your consciousness today. For those of you who have meditated for the last 2 days, this is a very important meditation session for you to feel the benefits of heartfulness meditation with Pranahuti. So let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Do it like an experiment, not out of faith or belief. An experiment where you're open to explore. Slowly bring your attention towards your heart, where your heart beats. And feel profound humility in yourself and love in front of a huge divine principle that exists inside you. This divine principle exists everywhere, and it also is existing inside me, which keeps me alive. Now offer this prayer, what I am about to say. Repeat the same words with your own personal humility and love, as if you are addressing your perfect Master inside. O Master, Thou art the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of wishes, putting bar to our advancement. Thou art the only God and power to bring us up to that stage. Remember, these words will travel as feelings in your heart if you are offering it with devotion and love and humility. Make this suggestion that there is already a divine light in your heart. Repeat this suggestion that there is already a divine light in my heart, that it is illuminating and attracting from inside. Train your faculties to pay attention to your heart, especially the mind. Like all functions of the body, the mind is also going to think, so don't bother about those thoughts. If you're interested, your mind will get drawn towards your heart. Close your eyes to remain attentive towards your heart. Do not force your mind to feel concentrated or some experience of peace. Whatever you are destined today, it will come to you when you wait. So, with a lot of patience and awareness of connection to the heart, please start meditation with the help of yogic transmission. As a trainer, I will conduct this meditation. When it is over, I will say that's all. Till that time, let us meditate together for the well-being of everybody in this universe with the attention to the heart. Please start meditation. That's all. I'd like to post a Menti question for those of you who have sincerely tried meditation. Please share what was your condition after this meditation. Because well-being is not a topic on the PPT, it has to be experienced. So I have a Menti question for you with a code 9202118. 9202118. And you have a spectrum of answers. Thank you. Thank you for putting that response. That gives me encouragement that some of you have meditated. Centered, very good. Refreshed. Relaxed. Each one has a different degree of consciousness, and based on their inner connection, as they start refining their consciousness, they get guidance for their life. Their aspiration is to serve humanity. Their aspiration could be to teach better. Their aspiration is to speak properly. Their aspiration, it could be sleep well, because one of the biggest deprival that is happening is in sleep cycle. There are aspirations to serve others well. So each one has a different degree of state of consciousness when the heart is in its place. Thank you. Continue to respond. I'm just pulling out the Menti to come back to my presentation with the objective that all we did is just a short spell of meditation. And spirituality is not a subject of theology or a book reading or listening to some music or audio. It is a subject related to experience. Only experience will give you how our faculties inside are changing. I have been a business professional for many years. I have done my work with my clients. I've been HR professional. I've been able to profoundly make impact on wherever I could travel, provided I was centered inside. So heartfulness experience is always going to be away from intellectual people. It is something related to people who choose silence, inwardness, calmness, inner values, and all those dimensions. And only when it is a personal experience, it becomes something that you can talk about it. Otherwise, ad nauseum, ad infinitum, we can talk about well-being for 200 days a year. But the inner wellness from the heart, when experienced, such a people don't even speak. Their lifestyle is an example in the corridor of the college. So when we teach relaxation methods is to lighten the body. When you meditate on the heart, it also has a benefit of pumping the pure blood to all the body. So thereby meditating charge that is there on the heart will keep the entire system healthy. We are also known by our qualities and values by the heart. Especially when you receive something, whether it is a job or a salary or an opportunity to serve students, you feel humbled. There are a lot of values. Such teachers don't come mechanically to colleges, to schools, to jobs. They come with refreshed feelings of gratitude and love. And all these are feelings of the heart. Such great people also know that their entire truth is in the heart. So they are working very busy, but their inner fuel is silence. I'll repeat this again. Their engine is running at a high mileage, and their fuel inside is profound silence, mauna, not nishabdha, mauna. They speak to the point, but they affect very clearly. It's called vak suddhi. Students get attracted like a sunflower to sun, to such kind of a wise faculties who speak not just the subject, but along with the subject, they will say something profound that the heart of the student immediately changes. We also know in the Indian courts, when you go, if you don't believe in a particular religion, they'll say, put your hand on your heart. So our aspiration and connection is based on the heart. And all that we do is to save our life, till that heart beats. So the whole heart has its own value proposition, and it speaks when there is silence inside. It doesn't talk to a noisy mind. It doesn't talk to a very agitated, consciousness. So when heart is in the center, as somebody said, they have a very clear observation. Their consciousness has a huge circumference. They are not driven by external motivation, neither by external videos. They're constantly inspired because of the energy oozing from the heart, which is love, which is what our mother has already given us through her feed, developing our faculties inside. When that inspiration exists in such a person, there are actions, continuous energy flowing towards the well-being of others. One who is still wondering about their own well-being has got a very limited view. When I start working on others' well-being, which means I will try to be as moral as possible with all my actions, they discover a sense of new purpose in life. And the compass, the heart is a compass which gives direction with their feelings. For such a person, the change is from inside. You try to put an external video, an article, or a book, or some kind of a reward from outside, it only makes you an omelette. But when a person recognizes that I have a larger purpose in my life, they wake up to the warmth of something, then that is change. When there are educators as meditators, they are actually reflective. They are collaborative, especially without any interdepartmental politics, inter-college politics, or such a person is this, such a person is that. There is a flow in that person. They are very effective because wherever they sit, there is an effect of their presence. Because they believe in experimenting, they believe in experience. They are open and they are observant. And no doubt they're effective. They will produce results also. Their students no matter wherever they are, they will remember that I have met a wise faculty in my college. Their effects are not just immediate, because they are these such educators, when they become meditators, they introspect for a few minutes. Am I well prepared for the class? They also discuss with the students with a lot of humility. This collaboration between student and teachers is a great way of finding out the new truth. So educators and meditators follow some types of frameworks. In Heartfulness, we call it as AEIOU, where we acquire a particular value inside, keep it a entire value a part of me. Top to toe, this particular lecturer is a summum bonum epitome of this particular capacity, whether it is peace, generosity, compassion. They conduct themselves with that capability. So they are in union with the universal values. When they step into the classroom, their teaching efficiency is a lot more different. They use feelings as their spider's web to connect to the students. Without connection to the hearts of other students, there is no teaching. There could be information sharing, but when there is a feeling, it travels like a vector. It has magnitude and direction. And in such a classroom environment, there is always creative conversations, there is understanding. They are all collectively looking for a solution-oriented education. And Bloom's taxonomy is just not a myth, but they start thinking higher. That's how ancient scientists were more spiritual than today's scientists. And especially they allow students to have questions. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. Questions are a great reflection of good teaching. When educators are meditators, they know which student is in what quadrant. When they see student spectrum, I often seen, when a meditating faculty goes to a college and they contribute, they develop students to the fourth quadrant. Average, just like that, keep giving information for the sake of curriculum and syllabus and exams, students tend to remain in the lower quadrant. They don't know what to do after that education. They can't speak properly. They can't do a project. They claim to have some management degree, but not able to survive in life. But when an educator becomes a meditator, lifelong they will be mentoring them even if they're outside their college. So these are the quadrants through which the faculty pushes the students as a 9 months womb in the 3 years, in the 4 years course. This faculty must have completed the course, but he or she is making sure such a bright students are not left out. They will check with the other faculty saying that iska khayal rakhna, this guy is going to be a great leader for the nation. How do they know? Their feelings and consciousness will tell them. So pushing students to the higher quadrant is the capability of a refined faculty. With that as my background of today's session, I like to pause here. I want to take some questions from all of you. And before concluding, I would like to play a video for all of you. Any questions, comments, or perspective? Some of you can even come forward to share your thoughts. What do you feel? What is your heart saying? And I am used to silence because I've been training myself. Often we get little worried if nobody is asking anything. We feel that nobody is interested. No, people generally take some degree of, they need to brush away their shyness. So let's see who has what comments today. You need not ask me a question. You are a lot more smarter than me. Definitely you're teaching in colleges. So Madhurima ji, would you like to share what do you feel? I am happy you switched on your video. And Shambhu sir, thank you for that question. He triggered it so that He wants to lead by example so that others can also participate. Thank you, sir. Body is definitely required. First thing is, I would say, sir, since you asked me, people who meditate sleep better. You can go study the body posture of people who don't sleep. You can see as if their body looks as if they went for a war and came on the bed. So first thing what you just did is having water, like the way you felt thirsty right away, you had water. So the body is the most intelligent element there. It knows what it needs. But unfortunately, we have to develop that wisdom what not to give it. So body needs sleep, body needs water with the right pH value. I don't know whether the pH values are good in your world or not, but at least if our thoughts are not acidic, at least that will help the body. And doing some laughter therapy is good, sir. I don't know when I can meet you next all of you can come to my training center in Hyderabad, Kana Shantivanam. You can stay there for 2 days. I'm the HR head there. It's a 1,000 acres facility. I will teach you how to laugh stomach fully. So somebody has a question. Krishna Veni, thank you for asking this question. Welcome to the party. Since a place is filled with politics and hypocrisy, you are the only hope there. You are the only hope who will create a positive environment. If you also join the bandwagon, then somebody will say you're also into that. How? I have personally learned it, ma'am, by cleaning myself. You may not like my answer. The environment around us is based on our inner tendencies. I have cleaned myself when I also worked in politics place. In my MBA, separately, politics is taught as a subject. I had a professor in organizational politics. So, Krishnaveni ma'am, I'm not going to make you believe with my answer, but I can give you my phone number. You can meditate with me for the next 90 days. Every day, half an hour. I will give you guided training. You write a white paper after this of what happened to your inner state after this. I've shared my number. Do not believe in my answer because it's only information. But my experience tells that when we do heartfulness cleaning, very network inside gets shattered and you will not find such kind of environment around you. That's my personal understanding of environment. And over a period of time, such people will stop troubling you. Unless you make that quantum leap of faith and try it, this will become theoretical faculty development programs. Dalmiji, same answer. You can give me a shout on my mobile number. Let us conduct a social experiment and see if I and you and Krishnaveni change, will that place change? Let us start with this experiment. You know, it will something which will change your inner self. And end of the day, God looks for such kind of a generous heart that here is Dalimi, and Krishnaveni, who transformed themselves. Even Mother Teresa faced problems. Even Jesus Christ faced problems. But they were loved by the divine eventually. So the choice is in front of us. When you do these cleaning practices, it has helped me personally. I can also do this session in a very loud way. Good morning, dear friends and sisters. All of us, let us do this. Is not how teaching should be done. There has to be a pause. There has to be a peace. People who are shouting in rooftop don't teach. They're just shouting. That's why it's called shouting. So my appeal to you is to find your inner peace. People will get corrected around you. A lot of intonations. That's not good. So my practical experience, ma'am, as I said, 25 years I have done this practice. You should not believe me. You should try out of your own experience. I am only humbled by such kind of initiatives that Dr. Shambhu is taking and institutions are taking. Who wants spirituality today? Tell me. Even in today's session here, there are only few people who meditate. So I would appeal to you that you are the only hope for your geography where you are staying. Ishwarappa Marundi sir, I am just like you. You have a greater degree than me. I am not even a doctorate. I am just a small student in front of all of you. Your heart is so good, that is why it is touching, sir. This transmission method is useful. I can't take any credit because taking unnecessary credit will put on some weight. I'm already overweight. In the mind, emit sound in the class. How to feel? Selva Kumar, very good, sir. Very good. A very good question. Since it is not trained, we can't feel. That's the simple answer. So once you train it, you will feel it. There is already peace inside. You just have to excavate it and feel it. Again, I'm offering you my simple service. There are no charges to this. I am as busy like you after this session, but I'm happy to help if your question is serious. Selva, what you're asking, sir, is the same question Isaac asked. How dare this apple falls down? उसके पहले भी लोग ने सेव खाया था ना. Even before then also people have had apple. But he asked this question. So question asking is not at all the issue. If you have doubt in your question, if samsaya is there, nobody can solve it. Even God comes, it will not work. So conduct this experiment, Selva sir, with my only appeal. There is nothing for you to lose except for a few minutes a day. I have a question to you, Selva Kumar sir. What does the word Selva means? What does the word wealth? There you go. There is a wealth of peace inside you. All you need to is tell me, is there any wealth that is available easily? I'm happy to go run right now, even with 2 masks and a lot of sanitizer. And how do you get wealth? Let's take you have to get some wealth from the underground. How do you get that? Even diamond has to be under pressure. Yes, Praveen Naik Garu, this is a quotation for my son. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Purnima Sinhaji, by digging our hearts. Very good, Selva sir. By work is equal to force into displacement. This force of spiritual force will give you highest displacement. Mark my words. You will leave a great work impact around you. At what extent we need to meditate or till peace or attaining enlightenment. Vignesh sir will start with small dosages. If you are able to get peace, you're close to enlightenment. Vignesh sir, you are from which hometown? Where is your hometown?
Sir, I'm from Trichy, sir, from Tamil Nadu.
Very good. Where are you right now?
I'm Trichy, sir. I'm at home, sir.
Sorry.
I'm home now.
Very good. See, I like the answer. You are at home. When you reach your home in your heart, Vignesh sir, you will find peace. It is the shortest distance from here to here, 14 inches. Travel that short distance, no ticket, no GST also. And you will find 70,000 thoughts a day in between you and your peace every day. When you go to this Trichy, this river near in the town, have you gone for a bath there, sir, in the river?
Yes, sir. I went to Kaveri for a bath.
Super. In the Kaveri river, how do you take a bath? Do you do Kanthasthana or you submerge yourself inside? Which one you enjoy the most?
Chillness of the river, sir. That is what the most likable thing.
Now, when you go to the water, sir, first time when you put your feet, you will feel so cold. You can look at children.
Yeah,
Then you will even if it is simple water, you will go as if you're going to a lion. Slowly you will enter. But the real experience is when you dip your head inside and go inwards. I request you to try that. Go into your heart and see what happens. I have a trainers in Trichy. They can teach you in local language. நம்மகிட்ட நிறைய தமிழ் trainers இருக்காருங்க. அவர் எல்லாமே உங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்றாரு.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, Dr. Shambhu, sir, you are very blessed for this initiative. You have somehow saved some 56 souls. Somehow they managed to stay back out of the 150. And it's not easy affair for such a initiative when you have to do these things. But I'm deeply touched by the initiative itself. Praveen Naik, sir, the quotation behind me in this cupboard is, my son has got this poster. He says that I was so surprised that I can speak, but I did not speak for 1.5 years. Which means, that he thought for 1.5 years he was quiet. So, we are teasing my son. My son is 9 years old. I have 3 children and 1 wife. And my children are my inspiration. I will send it to Krishnaveni ma'am. I'll send it to Krishna Shambhu sir, or you can message me on WhatsApp. I'm a little slow in responding. I'm a slow learner. So I will respond to your WhatsApp and send you this quotation. But here is the deal, Krishnaveni garu. I want you to write a quotation that you yourself will create from today. A quotation that oozes from your heart. The Veni means, the Veni, Krishna Veni, something that comes from you. Okay, it's a deal, done deal. I have here Gayatri Reddy garu. Namaste, ma'am. Thanks for switching on your video. I feel better now after some of you switching on your video.
Yes, sir. I have a question to you, sir. This online meditation is better, or one-on-one meditation is better?
Wow. That's a wonderful question, Gayatri Reddy. Very good question. I want you to try both, ma'am. May I know what do you teach?
I teach HR and marketing.
Oh, we both are in the same religion.
Yeah, yes.
Ma'am, my experience is you try both. If my attitude is great, online is just a few electrons online, that's it. This world is connected in matter, ma'am. I don't know what you studied before MBA. If you're a science student, we are in a field of energy. And I said truth, and the phone is also ringing. So we are in a field of matter, ma'am. The air in your place and the air in my place are all connected. So online is just a medium. We have a tool called HeartSap, ma'am. And ideally, it is good to meet face to face.
Yes.
But once you are connected, you will connect to anything in this world. This Gayatri, the 3 systems inside, when they get connected, the causal, the subtler, and the sthula, once the alignment is there, ma'am, the first time Maslow's theory of hierarchy is inverted over here. It starts with self-awareness, and you are connected even to the trees inside your home. And once you're connected to one tree, the other tree will tell, you know what, Gayatri is connected to it today. And the other tree will tell the other tree. They are more gossips in the tree than humans, based on the thoughts we have. So our connection is on thoughts level, ma'am. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. The moment you think of it, like sometimes your mom might be telling your husband or your children or your friends, hey, I was just thinking of you, they'll say. because you are connected at a consciousness level. So tomorrow when internet is also not there, ma'am, we are still connected.
Correct. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. It's a nice question. Very good. So I'm going to show you one closing video with your permission, Dr. Shambhu. The objective of any training program, friends, is what this video is all about. Let us see, after the video, I'd like to hear a couple of you, at least like the way Madhurima ji and Gayatri ji spoke. I'd like to hear you guys. Let me show this video. This time with audio. I want you to make notes and comments in the chat box. I may not be able to see it, but I like to see some dynamic notes from all 50 people at least as you watch this video.
In 1968, Apollo 8 went to the moon. They didn't land, but they did circle the moon, and I was watching it on television, and at a certain point, one of the astronauts casually said, "We're going to turn the camera around and show you the Earth." And he did. And that was the first time I had ever seen the planet hanging in space like that. And it was profound.
I think that for me, like for many other people, it was quite a shock. I don't think any of us had any expectations about how it would give us such a different perspective. I think the focus had been, we're going to the stars, we're going to the other planets, and suddenly we look back at ourselves, and it seems to imply a new kind of self-awareness.
One of the astronauts said, when we originally went to the moon, our total focus was on the moon. We weren't thinking about looking back at the Earth. But now that we've done it, that may well have been the most important reason we went.
Oh, golly, I remember going through launch, which is an overwhelming experience. The engines cut off. I felt myself floating out of the seat. I floated over to the window, looked out, and we were coming up over the coast of Africa. And that's when it hit me. I'm in space. And, I just got incredibly excited because it's something I had dreamed about since I was 6 years old.
I think you start out with this idea of what it's going to be like. And then when you do finally look at the Earth for the first time, you're overwhelmed by how much more beautiful it really is when you see it for real. It's just like it's this dynamic, alive place that you see glowing all the time.
It was truly incredible to be up there, doing what I always wanted to do my whole life, and then to kind of glance back at our planet and see that view was just tremendous.
I can only describe what I've seen. Looking down at the Earth, and you see that line that separates day into night slowly moving across the planet. thunderstorms on the horizon casting these long shadows as the sun sets. And then watching the earth come alive. And you see the lights from the cities and the towns.
The events you see from space, like flying over thunderstorms, looking at them from the top, were spectacular. Like a fireworks show going on, and you're looking at it from the very top.
You know, shooting stars going below us, or you know, dancing curtains of auroras. It's just very hard to describe all the, you know, the colors, the beauty, the motion.
My job as lunar module pilot was to be responsible for the lunar module itself and responsible for the science on the moon. So when we started home, I had a little more time to look out the window than the other guys because most of my responsibilities were completed. We were in a particular mode called the barbecue mode. So we were flying like this and rotating like that. What that caused to happen was every 2 minutes, a picture of the Earth, the Moon, the Sun, and a 360-degree panorama of the heavens appeared in the spacecraft window. And I had studied astronomy, and I had studied cosmology, and fully understood that the molecules in my body, and the molecules in my partner's bodies, and in the spacecraft, had been prototyped in some ancient generation of stars. In other words, it was pretty obvious from those descriptions we're stardust. Well, that was pretty awesome and powerful, particularly since I had a little more time at this point to be reflective and to think about it.
Awe, I think, is one of those words that you have a better understanding of once you see it, too. I felt like, you know, using the word awesome was totally appropriate when it came to describing what the planet looks like.
To have that experience at law is, at least for the moment, to let go of yourself, to transcend the sense of separation. So it's not just that they were experiencing something other than them, but that they were at some very deep level integrating, realizing their interconnectedness with that beautiful blue-green ball.
And this is why the astronauts, particularly in the International Space Station, often say that much of their free time is filled with what they call Earth gazing, just staring out at the Earth. They can stare for hours because the changing scenery, the interactivity of the biosphere, all of this has an incredible aesthetic impact.
The beauty of seeing Earth as a planet, as opposed to being down here among it, is a wonderful experience to then start to get into what we call the big picture effect or the overview effect.
I was flying cross country from the East Coast to the West Coast in the 1970s. And I was looking out the window, and as I was looking down at the planet, the thought...
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. So I'd like to pause here. All I want to conclude in my perspectives here with a very learned community here. I am not even half of your knowledge levels, but for one, I believe that I can say this. Do not be doing too many things when you attend any program. Stay focused on one activity at one time. First thing. Second thing is, this great planet has been our home, where our mother has brought us here. There is a profound reason why we are born on this planet. Second, this is the second point. Third, when you raise your consciousness, you see things from a very panoramic view. Things are a lot more different. And thereby you will feel a lot more clearer when you raise your consciousness. With these 3 points, when you rob time for what they call sky gazing, earth gazing, you can also rob some time for your own reflection. And that will contribute to a new consciousness in your system. With that, I would like to conclude my session. That may I pray that your sincere aspiration of your heart is to evolve, and the soul wants to evolve. That's the only purpose of life. And you have been given all the faculties inside. And those faculties will guide you how to take decisions better. And meditation, especially the heartfulness technique with transmission, can help you, provided you practice at least for 90 days. Truly, you will remain ATAL within your own consciousness. With that, I would like to give it back to Dr. Shambhu for your closing comments.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your heartfelt contribution. And at the same time, I also thank our participants for their artful questions also, heartfelt and artful questions. In case if they have any questions, they can put it in chat box. I think 1 or 2 questions will do, because we have already exceeded the time limit. And I request all our participants to rejoin the next session, which will commence at 11:45 a.m. I request soon after the completion of this session, just you can log out and again log in at 11:35 a.m. If you have any questions, quick questions, with the permission of sir, you can put it in chat box.
Absolutely. Alia Nazdi, thank you so much. Presentation अगर अच्छा लगा, आप भी हमारे साथ, ये मुराक़बा बोलते हैं इसको सूफीज़म में. Meditation is called muraqaba. Please join us, and maybe you will feel something more deeper along with what you're doing. But I hope to see all of you in Kanha Shantivanam in Hyderabad sometime whenever you all want to visit. I've given you my number. You can give me a shout or write to me. My email ID, I will type it here. I think you all need a good break now. You need to go to the bio break, rush to the bathroom, have some food, munch a little, hop a little, jump a little. So I like to save this time for you so that you can come back 5 minutes early for the next session. Dr. Shambhu and team, thank you so much. And we look forward to connect with you again, once again, sometime soon. Stay healthy, stay hungry.
Thank you, sir. Definitely. Once our students are back to campus, we would like to have your session for our students and for our faculty also. In fact, we had the same session with our students from the local Kalaburagi chapter of Heartfulness Center. Students like to work on. Definitely, sir. You are most welcome, and you can personally visit our wonderful campus.
Definitely, I'm going to come to. I am confident that with so many college lecturers here, at least every 200 kilometers, I'll get some food and stay for one night, and for next 2-3 years, I should be taken care, I'm sure.
Not at all an issue at all, sir. We would love to have you for that kind of simple hospitality.
Why not? Why not?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, participants, once again.
Thank you.